What do we still have open? The cliffhanger that we had open is whether we have to be afraid for your jobs. What was your statement? What was your answer?
So the question was, will AI take our jobs? Some, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Some jobs it will take.
Yeah. Will it take our jobs?
Okay. So I think it's going to change our jobs. Yeah. And some of us are going to have to find something else to do. Okay. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. So if you're, let's say, a trainer, if you're a trainer and the only thing you want to do is stand in front of a class and explain stuff that honestly they could have read a book, then yeah, you're going to have to find a new job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank God for that.
Yeah.
However, what I really am afraid of. So
you're saying for rote memory, which means kind of just memorizing stuff, an AI can do that equally as good and like in 12 or 150 different languages?
Maybe not today, but 2 years from now, yeah.
But you're saying when it comes to real cognitive experience, sharing, use cases, how to, we still have one up, at least for a while?
The AI will be able to do much of that as well.
Yeah.
The question is rather, so take COVID, for example, right? What happened? We had in-person classes, and we knew we had the technology to do most of these classes also remotely. We had it.
Yeah, we never wanted to do it because we
didn't really like the idea. But when companies said, "Hey, I need to reduce costs," well, that was one of the options, and we said, rather
even if they didn't want to reduce costs, but they wanted to have training, but we couldn't do it in person, they said, "Well, this is the alternative,"
right?
And we all learned it works.
But before COVID, the customers reacted, no, we want the thing. Okay, cool. Because we all knew that there's a jump of quality, right? We need to reduce quality for that. Good. COVID came along, we were obliged to do it. Now they realize that it's a hell of a lot cheaper and it kind of works anyway. Yeah. Is there a reduction in quality? Yes, of course.
There's a trade-off.
Everybody.
What's your estimate right now? I would say about 50% are still online and the rest are in person. That's my experience.
Right. I would say that at least that. Yeah. However, what does that mean? We didn't manage this change, right? What we enabled was simply the fact that companies at the end let finance and control decide what's going to happen with the courses. And so at the end of the day, they got used to it. It's cheaper. We continue this way. I'm afraid that the same thing might happen with AI. That at the end of the day, it's a hell of a lot cheaper to have an avatar tell you whatever you put in there, and that will take the role of the trainer away. So the point is not so much to ask the question, could it substitute the trainer? The question is, what are we going to do about it? How are we going to make sure that we stay relevant? If we let only finance decide, the trainers are gone. Even though we all know the quality is going to be lower. But what is the alternative? And this is where many of the tools that I was telling you about come in. We create tools where the AI helps with the training, does the explanation. If you have questions, you can ask. But you have a real human trainer that acts as a coach of a big number of people and accompanies them through the learning path. Right? So it's not the role of the trainer has changed. Now you don't have a class anymore, you don't necessarily have a class, or you blend it, you bring in a few classes and others instead are done using AI. But the trainer,
you might actually make your trainings more of a workshop nature where you say, okay, now we're going to take what you've learned and we're going to actually maybe based on your use cases go into detail.
You're going to make them real life nature.
Yeah.
You're going to embed the learning into the real work that people are doing day in, day out. I have this problem. What do I do? Flash. What about a charter? I have this other problem. Oh, my customer they've just changed the marketing manager. What do we do? Whoa, did you do a stakeholder analysis? So you bring the learning, thanks to AI, a real trainer could never do that. You bring the real learning into the real life.
Yeah.
But you can't bring it all together if you just rely on the AI. So you will need a trainer who accompanies you, maybe for 6 months, maybe for a year, and accompanies your learning path, right? So I am a junior project manager. I want to be a much more senior project manager 2 years from now. So you as a trainer, you might have a group of 20, 30, 40 employees of your customer whom you're accompanying through this learning path, which is then facilitated through AI. So this is how I see the role evolving rather than disappearing.
Okay.
If we take ownership of it, if we create the tools and if we create the spaces for this coaching type of role, if we don't, forget about it. Money was going to count.
Forget about it.
Absolutely.
Actually,
the decisions will be taken on